Hi, my name is Matt Scherer. I'm with PMA Practice Transitions, and I have my colleague Doug Sellan with me. And PMA assists dentists with transitioning out of practice ownership. And today we have a great question. What are the steps to a transition? So really the first step, and I know we've talked about this in previous talks, but it's really getting your practice appraised. That's the number one step. But the way we do it is before we'll do anything with bringing on a dentist to help transition a practice, we have to go and meet with the dentist in their office, to see the office, to meet them, to make sure that it's a good fit for us and them.
You're right. I mean, the first step is really, are you at the point that you're even wanting to have your practice appraised? Are you in that mindset, or are you in that physical condition that, there's multiple different reasons why you want to sell your practice. It could be health, wealth, time, a lot of different components come into it. Maybe you think, the community is not what it used to be, and it's time to get out. But there's so many different steps. The values first. Yep. Once we assess the value, then we start with the marketing of it, which, trying to find an individual. He or she could be coming from out of state or from around the corner. And with our ability to market nationally, that certainly is an advantage that we bring to the table.
It is. And then certainly once we do identify a buyer and they want to visit the practice, we're accompanying the buyer and the seller at the practice. So that way the buyer, if they have clinical questions, they certainly can ask the dentist. But if they have questions about the appraisal or any of the numbers, then that's where we step in.
We're there to defend that.
Exactly.
And it's not that we just came up with a number, but there's a lot of experience and science behind this. So when we are presenting a number to the individual.
Yeah. And then once the buyer has been identified and they visited the practice, we then try to promote the buyer, or not necessarily, I guess promote's not the right word, but encourage the buyer to submit an LOI if they're still interested in purchasing or still moving forward. Once the LOI is submitted, then certainly the buyer, we encourage them to go get financing, and we can assist with that because of our backgrounds in banking.
Now, one thing all along the way, we represent sellers. So the whole way through the entire process, the seller's best interest is our best interest. And even though we're telling the buyer to submit an offer, here's a bank that they could work with, here's a technology company they can connect with, attorneys and accountants as well. It's all about keeping the momentum going to get this to a point of transitioning. It may take one showing, or it could take dozens of showing to find that right individual to take over your practice.